everybody. Welcome to Witchy Wednesday.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. How's everyone doing today? We already have some people watching. Look at that. Does somebody have the window open? You got to turn the... Somebody's got YouTube open. We can hear a...
I don't know.
feedback. Oh, no. Oh, no. Anyways, we'll just make it work. We got somebody already waiting on us. Ramon Santos. You guys doing everything Wednesday, right? Yes. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Witchy Wednesdays. And today we are talking about... What are we talking about today? Do we know what we're talking about today?
I don't know.
No, we don't.
We are talking about the afterlife and the signs from a loved one. So I am talking about this today because I had a recent passing in my family, and I don't think this person's going to give me any signs, but I have a feeling they'll be doing it for my sister so that, you know, she knows that he's still around, you know. My brother-in-law passed away. He had a heart attack in his sleep, and it was very unexpected. And so that's what made me think of this topic. But for those that don't know, I'm very heavy into, like, I'm a little obsessed with the paranormal. Wait a minute. Oh, it's not going to show. Okay. I'm obsessed with the paranormal, and part of paranormal investigations and research is like the things that happen that alert you that there is someone from the other side trying to communicate with you. And so I thought it would be interesting to talk about it, see what your guys' experiences were, and to share some of the things that I found online through my research. So, Lunar, tell us if you've ever had an experience with someone communicating with you from the other side.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. There's an old friend of mine that, you know, he just lets me know he's around different times. There's different things that'll happen. Like a song might come on suddenly that we used to listen to during certain situations, and out of nowhere, the song will just start coming on, or I'll just feel in there, you know. And it's just one of those. I don't know. It's one of those where if you know, you know, type thing.
Yeah, I understand. What about you, Anita?
So I've had one recently, actually. A song came on that my grandma used to be obsessed with. And then my Facebook memory popped up, and it was like a memory from her. And I just like, I believe that was like a sign from her. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Passed in like October.
Yeah. I definitely have had some situations. So my grandmother in her house in California, she used to have the bird feeders, the hummingbird feeders, the red ones that have like the little flowers where the hummingbird can, you know, stick their beak in there and like get the syrup or whatever you put in there. And I would sometimes be like thinking about her and then see a hummingbird. And sometimes in places where hummingbirds are not prevalent. So I definitely feel like that was a sign. Also, my other grandmother, she used to drink these like Nescafe mocha. It would be like in a little can. And I found one of those cans. Now, mind you, I've never bought these a day in my life. I don't know how they would have ended up in my house, but I found a can, an empty can of this Nescafe mocha packets or whatever. And of course, this is a really long time ago because she's been passed for a long time. But it was just odd to me that I was like, how did you get here? So those are I'm sure there's more, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah. Trying to come up with them on the spot is always difficult.
Yeah. But through my research, some of the physical signs that you'll find in your environment are feathers and coins. I do find pennies randomly in different places. So allegedly that is a sign. from the other side of someone who's trying to communicate with you by putting the coin in your visibility and in your sight. Electrical disturbances like flickering lights, radios turning on by themselves, or sudden battery drains can indicate spirit presence. That might freak me out a little bit. Unexpected scents like smelling a familiar perfume, cigar smoke, or a favorite flower of the deceased can be a way they make their presence known. Now, that does remind me of my grandmother had these honeysuckles out front of her house, and I have smelt that a time or two. And Chanel 5 perfume. She loved Chanel 5 perfume, and so there's been I don't wear it. It was a little bit of a elderly smell for me. If I smell it, then I know that it's definitely not for me. Hey, Zadie, how are you? Just came from BoobTube. Thanks for coming on over. But the last thing that they said was animal messengers. Seeing butterflies, cardinals, dragonflies, and other significant animals repeatedly could be a spirit connection. Now, what that also reminds me of is my friend, who is the godparent of one of my children, passed away a couple of years ago. And one of the girls that used to be on Witchy Wednesdays did a reading with me privately. And the beginning of the reading didn't seem significant, like nothing was shared that I was like, okay. But at the end, she says to me, I keep thinking about a honeybee. Now, this person's nickname was Queen Bee, and the bee was definitely significant to her. And then as we were talking about like the initials, and there was a couple of other things that now started to make sense to who it was. And so the honeybee definitely alerted me. And she said to me that she's around a lot. Like she, loves being around me. So yeah, that was significant. The other part of this is dream visitations. So apparently people from the other side can also speak to you through dreams. And that I can definitely say I've experienced a lot of. What about you, Lunar?
Oh, yeah. That's the most, well, I can't say the most common occurrence, but yeah, that's been very common. I've had full conversations with people, that have passed on, and I was talking to them like they were sitting right there with me. In fact, that actually came up in the conversation, and they were like, "Well, I'm always there with you." I said, "You just won't always see me." And I've had that happen so many different times with different family members. Mostly my mom. I've had a lot of dreams of her and an old buddy of mine. Well, two of them. Two of them come through quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Anita?
So I actually haven't had any dreams. I have been grateful. I've been grateful and not to lose a lot of people close to me, like really, really close to me until recently. So I haven't had any dreams yet. But I do believe that they happen. I've had friends who've had dreams of their loved ones who've passed.
Yeah. I've had several dreams. In fact, I've had dreams that have warned me about certain people. I know that someone in my family that had passed away came to me in a dream to let me know that someone that I was dating was bad for me. And sure enough, days later, I found out not all, but like there was a lot of things that was like red flag, red flag, red flag. How did you miss that? And so probably things that I wouldn't have noticed normally, but because I had the dream, and not only did I have the dream, but the dream was so real that I remembered it like almost like it actually happened. And then when certain things happened, I was like, oh, red flag. Flag on the play. And then, obviously stopped messing with that person, and gladly, because eventually I would meet somebody better, way better. So yeah. And then I've had a dream. There was a dream where I kept like I had the dream, but in different kind of sequences and different scenarios, but it was the same. I think we did a show a long time ago, but I would love to do another show where we dissect like what your dreams actually mean. But this dream was like I would always be like drowning. Like I'd be in these situations where and it was like awkward. Like 1 minute I'd be driving a car and the next minute I'd be in a boat drowning. Or 1 minute I'd be doing one thing and the next minute I'd be drowning. But they weren't all like I wouldn't start out being associated with water. It would start out with something like I'm at the top of a building doing a photo shoot. Next thing you know, I'm drowning. Like it was so weird. And I never figured out what that actually meant, but it would be interesting to get some therapeutic discovery.
Yeah, right.
To find out what those dreams mean. So they say that dreams are one of the easiest ways for spirits to communicate since our subconscious is more open at night. So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
You're less resistant.
It says signs. Yeah. Well, because when we're awake, we're thinking, I don't want to say logically because that's not really the word I'm looking for, but we're questioning things a lot more that when you're in your subconscious, you're just freely experiencing it. It's not like you can fight it.
Yeah.
You can't just change the channel. It's happening. And it says signs of a spirit visitation dream are dreams that feel vivid, peaceful, and emotional rather than random or chaotic. The loved one speaks clearly and telepathically with important messages. Oh, I do remember one, speaking of that. And it says you wake up feeling comforted, loved, or at peace. So for me, there was a dream that I had, and it was like I was always trying to dial this number, but I could never remember the last 4 digits the last digit of the phone number. And I do remember like somebody like pressing the button for me and the call actually going through. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome that I finally got to finish that call. Because I had multiple dreams prior where I could never remember the full number and the call would never go through because I could not, I didn't have the right phone number. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Jason's here. Jason, how are you?
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
If you guys are watching in the audience, feel free to share your experiences and answer any of the questions that I'm asking the other ladies here in Witchy Wednesday. We want to hear from you as well. So right now we're talking about visitations through dreams. And it says you can invite spirit dreams by setting an intention before bed. I'm open to receiving messages from, and you want to say the name specifically because then it lets the afterlife know who you want to talk to or who you want to hear from. And it says to keep a dream journal to record any interactions. Now that's something I don't do, but I should.
Oh, a dream journal would
Jason said he had a dream about exotic. A dream journal would be what?
I said it would really come in handy. I can never remember my dreams.
Yeah, I don't either. Oh, I remember them when I'm like depressed sometimes, like if the dreams are like really negative, but like lately I have not remembered them at all. So I love that we have some of our lovely people in the audience right now. Thank you guys so much for coming through on our wonderful Witchy Wednesday. We're happy to be back. One of the other things that it talks about are repeating numbers and synchronicities, like angel numbers like 111, 222, 333, or 777 often carry spiritual messages from guides and lost loved ones. I love the number 7. 777 65309 86753. Wait, I got it all wrong. 8575. What is the dang number? Somebody help me out in the audience. Let me know. What is the number? 8675309. I think that's it.
Yep.
It says, pay attention if you see a specific date, time, or number pattern that was meaningful to them. And synchronicities, like hearing a song they loved or repeatedly singing their name, can be direct nudges from beyond. That's what you were talking about, Lunar. You were talking about how there's a specific song that came on. What was the song?
Oh gosh. My one buddy, it was the song "Comfortably Numb" from Pink Floyd. Because when we used to sit around and have a couple beers, that would be a song that we would just sit there and sing all the time. And
Aw.
so I was just sitting around one day, and it just, the thought of him just really came over me in a memory, and then that song came on. And I was like, all right. It's like, I hear you. And I was sitting there thinking about something I had to do. And it's like I could hear him, saying it to me because he always called me by my last name. And I could hear him say it, and he'd say, "Come on now." He said, "It's obvious." And there was my answer to what I was thinking about. And it's like I just felt like he popped in to give me a little reminder. I mean, everything was there. The song. I mean, how often do they play that on the radio? And
Right.
that came on randomly like that at the same time that he crossed my mind, and that thought came through my mind of him saying that to me. And so, and they said more receptive and open you are, the more it's going to come to you. So,
I'll be honest, like for me, I am petrified of like seeing a spirit in a physical form. Although I'm wildly curious, I'm also petrified. And so I have for years been like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. Please don't make your presence known. But then sometimes I'll be like, is so and so there? Is anybody home? like,
Is anybody in right now?
Knock, knock. Who's there? Your favorite spirit. So synchronicities, angel numbers, and specific dates, times, number patterns, or songs. The next one is spirit communication methods, tarot and oracle cards, which we have a young lady that comes on here named Lisa, and sometimes Nikki will read tarot cards and do readings, and it has been quite interesting seeing what those tarot cards have for you. It says tarot or oracle cards. Ask your loved one for guidance and pull a card to see their message. Pendulum readings. A pendulum can provide yes or no answers when connecting with the spirits. Automatic writing. So you meditate, clear your mind, and allow the messages to flow onto paper, which I see a lot on YouTube where people will do like spirit connections and they'll do readings and they'll like draw while they're getting these readings. Tyler, the medium, I think is his name. He does that. And also meditation and candle gazing. Quiet your mind and see if you receive symbols, words, or emotions. So
yeah,
the
candle
question
gazing.
is, have you ever communicated with a spirit? Say that again.
Candle gazing. I've always liked that. I've also used the mirror along with that in different times. But mainly the candle. Um, of course, it takes like a little bit of meditation and focusing on the flame. And as you're focusing on the flame, you're thinking about this person, and you welcome them to join you, and the flame will start dancing. It'll start, and more than they usually do. 'Cause it'll flicker. It'll actually start to dance when you actually have a supposed presence. The candle flame will rise higher than normal, and it'll begin to dance. So you'll pretty much know that there's something going on. And when you take a couple deep breaths and open yourself. Now, of course, a lot of people want to cast a circle before they do that. So, because you don't know what you're inviting. Of course, you always want to take care with that. Um, so,
What do you mean by that? So, like, let's explain to someone who may be watching and has no idea what that means.
well, with the
Explain
paranormal.
what you mean by protecting yourself.
Okay, well, in the spirit form, you're no longer confined to the body shell. So you don't really know what's going to connect with you, if it is actually your friend or if it's something else posing as them. So some people will put a protection circle. You know, some will do a physical circle with the salt. Some do a visualization of the light. And some will do incantations to cast a circle. And that way you're guarded while you're doing these acceptance, whether you're, doing the candle gazing. Candle gazing is one of my favorite ways of connecting. Because if they want to join you, they do. If they don't, they don't. I don't like to force my will by making them come to me. I'd let them come to me if they want to.
Oh, thank you, Johnny 718 Bravo. So basically what it is that when you are communicating with the other side, you don't know if you're communicating with someone that you actually know, if it's a positive spirit, if it's a negative entity, or if it's something from a dark underworld that you just never know. It's like opening up the door and just you never know who's going to come through it. And a lot of times, so that leads me to ask, have you ever used a Ouija board?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now myself, I won't use one. I've used it with a couple other people that are very seasoned with it, where they're very knowledgeable with it. I don't fear it, but I'm also not. It doesn't flow with me. So for me, that's not for me to dabble with. Then, like I can do tarot readings. I don't do tarot readings anymore because it's just not my thing right now. I do photo readings, aura cleansings, and stuff like that. And I'll usually use a pendulum. That's my main source, of using which direction I want to go.
Jason said, "Thank the Lord in heaven, God, I've never had a bad dream ever." Wow. Congratulations. That's
right?
Johnny 718 Bravo says he's afraid of Ouija boards. I'm not afraid of them, but I definitely recognize the power that they have and the uncertainty of opening up that gate and not knowing what's going to come through, and it just wouldn't. Yeah, but I'm also that way about like the spirit talker apps and like all the different things. Like I know, and I practice severe restraint because I want to open those things and I want to see what happens so I could just experience for myself. But I don't, because I also recognize that once you open that door, sometimes you're not able to close it. And I just don't want to invite something in that's going to be like scaring the shit out of me, terrorizing me.
Yeah.
What about you, Anita?
What about me? Can you
tell us about your Ouija board experience?
Oh, my Ouija board experience?
Yeah, you're telling us about your Ouija board experience.
So it's been years. I was like in college when we did this. And we were trying to reach one of my friend's ex-boyfriends who had passed away. And it seemed like the pointer was moving. And it felt like we had candles lit and like a gust of wind came in to blow them out. And I think we angered some spirits with what we were doing.
Why? Tell us what happened.
It was just because when the candles blew out, it was like such a very like spooky and scary experience, just the timing of it. And then we just decided to call it quits because we had angered whatever was right there. So we don't know what we did to upset the spirits. But it was not a good time on our part.
I know what you did. You opened up the portal. You opened up the portal and was like, "Come on, ding dong, come on in."
Yeah. We did something and nope.
She said the 420 experience. So I added that to the spirit communication methods because, the internet is kind of funny about sharing that Ouija board. So I added that one because it is something. Okay, wait a minute. So I didn't actually use the Ouija board, but I did have a crazy experience. I think I've talked about it in the past, but I'll talk about it again. When I was living with my grandmother, I was like 18 or 19 years old. She had a Parker Brothers Ouija board in the closet, and it used to scare me. And I used to feel, I don't know if I touched it, moved it, just kept staring at it. I couldn't tell you how this transpired, but at some point I started feeling this like heavy presence like hovering over me before I would go to sleep, and it would tell me like really really what do they call it, intrusive thoughts that I knew that weren't my own, and it would be like, you don't need to live, just stop being a bother to everyone. And I'd be like, what are you talking to me? Not me, I ain't going nowhere, shit. I'm too stubborn. And I just remember that heavy feeling and that negative aura around me. And so my next question is, Lunar, what is the color or colors of a negative aura around people? And are you able to see it? Is it something that you're able to like see?
Some people I can see it right off, others I can sense it.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Nikki! Uh-oh, we frozen.
Uh-oh.
No, I think, Harry, you're frozen.
Now I can. Yeah, go ahead, Lunar.
Okay. I mean, when I was a kid,
Me?
that's when I first started seeing them, and I didn't know what they were because my dad used to always try to have me train my night vision, so he'd have me go through the house without turning lights on. And I'd get down in the basement, and he would say, "Oh, you're afraid of what you can't see," and I said, "No, I'm afraid of what I can see." I would see all these lights down in the mainly the laundry room. Yeah, that's where my mom had spent all day down there doing laundry, going back and forth from the laundry chute to the washer, then to the dryer, then to the folding table, then to her chair to read and do her crossword puzzles. Because she'd literally spend all day downstairs doing blankets and sheets and everything. And I would see where she had been. I'd see her color signature. And her aura had like blues and greens in it. So I would see that, and I couldn't understand what that was. It even had her shape stand there, so it scared the daylights out of me. But when I got a hold of some books that an aunt had down at the house, and it had about the aura. Because they had the at Columbia House, the books and the cassettes you could get, where you could also get a book club. And one of them was how to read auras. And that's when I first started reading about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been seeing down there. And I could see my dad's footsteps going down to the lower part of the basement. His was yellow and green because my dad is very adventurous and very intuitive. So that was his yellow and his green. And I would see his footsteps going down the steps, but in different places. So it was really confusing to a kid. I didn't know what the heck that stuff was. I just see these colored lights everywhere.
Woo!
Light,
Colors.
yeah. And then as I started practicing with that book, I was able to see it around people. You see it in holy pictures, the glow around them, that's their aura. That's their spiritual aura. That's the one closest to the body. When you see a negative aura, it's if you see like red or black traced in the spiritual aura, which is the clear one. Now, some people will already have red in their aura, but if it's in around the spiritual aura, that's when it's a negative. Or if it's shooting out like where you almost feel like it's like electric bolts coming out of it. But other than that, then it's
Yeah.
pretty
Nikki's
much right. At least in my
hello,
experience.
Nikki. You should be in the live with us. You need to be in the live with us. Yeah. I've always wondered about that. Like if someone could see my aura. One time, what does purple mean?
Purple,
It means like wisdom and greatness,
yeah,
or like selfish and aggressive and like passive aggressive. Or
That's so on the others, like it's so far from each other. Like, well, I'm gonna go with greatness and wisdom. That's mine, allegedly. Somebody
yeah,
told me
but
I was purple.
that's why royalty has a lot of purple in it, because it's regal. It is, supposed to be, of a royal color, and it's pretty much the same with auras and everything.
Oh.
Like a bluish is, and see, there's different shades of blue. You have your turquoise, you have your indigos, you have your dark blue, you have your violet. There's all these different ones. So
I should have asked which shade of purple I am. Oh, snap. Look who came to join us.
Hello.
How art thou? How art thou?
How are you, Nikki?
I'm well. I can't complain. Can't complain at all.
So Nikki wants to know if you can see her aura and what her color is.
It's orange, definite orange.
What
What
is
does that mean?
orange? The
Orange is
color
like
of sacral chakra.
yes, where you have a very fiery passion. You have very
Ooh.
passion. It's like a creativeness to it. You have like a way of expressing yourself in like a very creative manner, and you have a lot of fire behind it. That's the main color I see swirling around you. It's like a vibrant orange. It's a very
Okay, it says it indicates someone who is adventurous, thoughtful, and considerate, and also means someone who's outgoing, charismatic, and full of energy. So I think that's definitely you, Nikki.
And I'm a fire sign, so yeah, that's
Yes. What about Anita? What color do
Yeah,
you
what do
see
you
for
see on
Anita?
me?
You have a lot of green.
A lot of green.
Yours is like a swirl to the green, so it's still evolving. It's still revolving around you, around some kind of growth that you're experiencing, and that is a part of your essence itself. There's something that is a part of your core value that's evolving and moving forward. And the green, that's why it's swirling. It's a very pretty green. It's like it's not a neon green, but it's like vibrant. It has like a vibrancy because
Yeah.
it's getting and growing. So there's something that your core, the core of your values, and it's evolving and moving through you and coursing through you as part of your path right now as it's going.
Ooh.
Okay, so someone said they saw purple, but what do you see, Lunar? What's my auratic
Oh,
color
I've
scheme?
always seen purple on you. I've always seen purple on you because I have. You
Boring. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's purple though, because you have the creativeness to you. So you have. That's where I say where the red comes in, to where red's not a negative color, only when it constricts the spiritual aura. The one that's at your core. Because, like I said, when you see pictures of like Jesus and all them, you see that white light around them. That's their spiritual aura. That's the very essence of your soul itself emitting through your body. Because we're not a body having a spiritual experience. We're a spirit having a human experience. So
Oh, okay. So if I
that
change the channel, can I have the spiritual experience?
If only it worked like that.
I know, right? Hold on. Let me get my remote control. Okay, yes. Did not work. Did not work. Did not change the channel. That is so interesting. So, are you able to see let's say I think that's interesting that you're able to do it through like a virtual screen where a lot of people think that it's only done in person, but you were able to do that through a virtual screen. So, kudos to you. Talent.
Yeah.
What is your color? Are you able to see your own aura or is it like
Me,
yes.
I have turquoise and a bit of violet. Violet is I'm very inquisitive, and I love adventure, and
Oh.
to do a lot of healing. Like I do a lot of healing massages for people. I get rid of migraines and I get knots out of them, and
Yes.
I do all that and everything. I just did it the other day, and I actually just was showing my stepdaughter how to goddess dance, how to bring the energy ball about. And I even handed her one. She says, "Are you handing me an energy ball?" And she had her eyes closed. She felt it. She says, "Oh my God!" She said that was so amazing. So I turned her on to that. She's just taken up drumming recently, and bongo drums. And what a spiritual experience that is. She never imagined it. Because when you play the drums, you're introducing yourself, and they say
Oh,
introduce yourself. You play something on whatever instrument you have, and that is your voice. And you introduce yourself to the rest of the drumming circle, and everybody does that, and then they all play together, and that's your voice together, coming together and joining with the heartbeat of the earth. That's why it's so therapeutic, and it connects you no matter what language you speak, because it's all the same. It's of the heart. So, I've been, helping them turn into that, because it's a lot of peace for me, when I do things like that.
so fun fact, when Lunar used to live at the Cam house, every night she would come and give me one of those massages, and I would literally be like,
Oh, that sounds amazing.
it is. She does this amazing head massage that is just like literally within minutes, you're like,
I know when guests would come to the house, they said I was a big squishy pillow. They leaned back on me. Within 5 minutes, they were snorting. They were out. I told them. They said, "Oh no, I haven't slept. I don't sleep easy." Every time. Within minutes.
wow.
No,
You have like a natural melatonin.
well, yeah, you just activate the natural endorphins, and then it just naturally it puts you right to sleep.
Look, you're putting Nikki to sleep. She's over there about to pass out right now. She's like,
Well, that's why I was in the comments, because my ass is tired.
I
well, well, we
I'm
read your aura now.
Tired. Okay. I've been with furniture today, so
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, we appreciate you coming in here, though.
anytime. But yeah, I am going, because I can't keep my eyes open much longer.
I see you over there. You're like.
Look, try to dip off, catch up, close my eyes real quick, and come back like I'm here.
Oh,
But
wow.
I would definitely try to catch the next one fully.
Much appreciated. Well, everybody say bye to Nikki.
See
Bye,
y'all.
Nikki.
Bye. All right, we can. So there's a couple more things. Oh yes, hearts. Oh, I still can't get my. Oh, I'm on my computer, so it's not going to work. But anyways, creating a spirit connection. Build a spirit altar with a photo, candle, flowers, and or. It does. Ugh.
Yeah.
Show off. It does not work. All you do is watch. How did you get the smoke? Wait, do the smoke again.
It was a cloud. Oh, hold on.
A cloud. And what about the balloons? This is so crazy. Cut it out.
Oh wow.
And there's the balloons.
Oh my goodness. Going through the special effects.
Oh, special effect.
So jealous. So jealous.
The whole chat. Let me sit here all night going like this.
Roman said, "See ya." Okay, so finishing off your altar, light a candle and say, "I welcome your love and presence in my life. Show me signs in a way that I can understand." And you can set up a dedicated spirit candle. Watch how it flickers and when you think of them. So that's what you were talking about, Lunar, is like having that candle and watching the wick to see.
Yeah.
Especially if there's like no air movement, like if you don't have a window open or a vent open or anything, and then it starts to waver like this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing moved. We're good. No spirits in my immediate space right now. Oh my goodness. All right. And last but not least, protection and boundaries. Not all spirit encounters are positive, so it's important to set intentions and protect your energy. Before reaching out, visualize a white or golden light surrounding you. Use protective crystals, which that's what you were talking about. We'll do that in a future episode where we talk about the different types of crystals, what they mean and what they can do for you. It says use protective crystals like black tourmaline or selenite. Always state, I only invite loving, high vibrational spirits into my space. And also reach out to your spirit guides. Let them know, like, hey, I'm about to do some spiritual stuff. Make sure you're out there looking out for me so that, you know, your spirit guides can be protecting you as well, fighting for you on the other side, so to speak. So, spirit guides. I know I have a couple. I have a good spirit team, actually.
I think I'd be stressing my spirit team out.
Why?
Just because I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Because you be doing stuff that they're like, no, don't do that, Anita.
Yes.
Don't do that. No. Me too. I mean, not so much lately. I've been making a lot better life choices lately, but there was a time that I know my spirit team was like, flag on the play, ma'am. Huddle. We need a time out, ma'am. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why?
They were ready to put your ass in the corner.
Don't mind me. Lunar. Is there anybody that you would love to reach out to and have like a spiritual conversation with?
Oh, goodness. That's a difficult one. Well, actually, there is somebody, someone I'm actually in contact with. I just never get a chance to see them, so I'm planning on getting soon. This one girl down in Baltimore, she's really, really intuitive, very intense, and very brutally honest.
What about you?
And also,
go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't.
There's another person. I mean, there's a person that's in the not the media, but there's.
Say that again.
Clever Ravenwolf. I was always curious. I mean, I met her once. I met her at Pagan Prom night, and I just love to sit down and just chat with her. You know, with some insights on.
I lost her. Can you hear her?
No, I can't hear her.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, now we can. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my microphone probably after that. It's better for that. Like I said, there's a couple different authors that I've seen and have caught my attention that I'd like to talk to. Just to kind of pick their brain a little bit. There's other people have passed away already that I really wanted to talk to.
Right. What about you, Anita?
Ask me the question.
Is there somebody that's passed? Is there somebody that's passed on that you would like to have a conversation with?
Yes. Absolutely. Who? My grandma. I would love to have one more conversation with her.
Aww.
You take it for granted.
You do. I would love to have a spiritual family reunion.
That would be crazy.
Right? If I could just be like, do you remember this day? With photos. Hey, remember this? What was I like as a baby? What was I like as a kid? Questions that I didn't ask as a child because I was a child, but things I would love to go back and like get answers to. Like what did you think I was going to be when I grew up? Did I make you proud? Maybe don't answer that.
If it's anything don't answer other that. Than yes, don't answer that question.
Right. We're only going to ask you yes. You can only answer yes to these questions. Did I make you proud? Okay, great. Eventually. Maybe now. Maybe now. Maybe not so a few years ago, but yeah, for sure. Well, it has been interesting. Do you guys have any other ladies have any extra things that you would like to add? Any questions? Any information you'd like to share? Any stories you want to tell us?
No, I have nothing to add.
Witchy Wednesday has wore us out. Our spirits are draining us. They're talking to us right now by saying it's so hard to say goodbye. With that being said, make sure you follow all of us. You can find, matter of fact, let me go ahead and we'll do our run through. Lunar, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on OnlyFans, of course, at Lunar Eve. I'm also on Twitter under Lunar Eve 3 and FetLife under Lunar 3. Oh, and don't forget Snapchat, Lunar Eve 2023. So.
Oh. You want to get some snappy snaps. What's up, Anita? Tell us how we can find you
Hello.
on the beautiful interwebs.
You can find me on OnlyFans at Anita Valentina and on all social media at Anita X Valentina. So really, really simple for you. It's right under my name. That way you can find me.
Nikki said, thanks for the interesting hour. Or Zany said, why'd I say Nikki? Zany said, thanks for the interesting hour, ladies. Take care. And for me, you can find me on everything iHeartBBWCOM. Also on TikTok, iHeartBBWCOM and the number 3. Also, I want to announce that we do have another magazine issue coming out. So hit us up at iHeartBBWCOM@gmail.com to get more information on how you can submit your stuff to the magazine, and it will be coming out in April of 2025. We will also be doing more YouTube lives, so check out our social media and our website, which is being redesigned, by the way. I'm super excited.
Yay!
Make sure you check out our social media to find out when we will be live again. Of course, you can always lock it on Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Witchy Wednesdays, where next week we will have another great and exciting topic. We love hearing from you guys. So make sure you leave some comments, subscribe to our channel, like, follow, share, do all the things. And if you're on Twitter, or Facebook or wherever you might be watching, do the same. Thank you guys so much. Let's get everybody back in here. Boom, boom, boom. We got to do our hearts.
Our hearts.
Oh my God. I'm so jealous. Oh, look. Lunar's part heart. Zany said, love you, Carrie. Take care. Thank you, Zany. And for everyone else that tuned in, we want to say thank you, whether you're watching this again and been following us, or if you're a new follower, a new viewer, we want to say thank you. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.